Hello! Welcome to the first episode of this Adulting Devlog series. Or I suppose the 0th. The reason being, this episode is going to be more about what this app is going to be about and where we're at in the development process. Spoiler alert, we haven't really started yet. Okay, adulting. What is it? First of all, it's not some seedy app for mature audiences only, so you can get that idea out of your dirty little mind right now. No, it's an app for helping you learn all the adulty things that you feel like you should probably know already, but for whatever reason you just haven't gotten around to learning.
You know, things like tying a tie, or whatever these guys are doing.
You know, adult things. So how do we plan on helping with that? Well, with the app, you can take short, easily digestible lessons at your own pace, or you can follow tailor-made lesson plans that introduce you to new concepts at the speed and difficulty that you decide. There you go. Pitch over. Now who is this we I keep blabbering on about? Well, there's me. I'm Jake, the developer. I've been a developer for 3 or 4 years, self-taught mostly. But this is really my first attempt at making any kind of native app.
Then there's Holly. She's the designer. She's studied fine art and transitioned into design, also about 4 years ago, doing most of her learning on the job too. And last but not least, there's Janosch, the researcher. Curious by nature, starting in the world of forensic archaeology, then moving into human interaction design through his PhD.
And that's it. It's just the 3 of us. We're doing this only in our spare time, so don't expect progress to be super fast. I plan on releasing a video maybe once every month, and then see how the momentum builds, and maybe start releasing more videos after that. Feel free to let me know what you'd like to see, how often, all that kind of stuff in the comments below. So that's the story. Maybe it's time for me to show you a bit of what we've done so far. First of all, the research. We're really not that into building anything that people don't really need or understand. So Janosch has put together a survey that we've just been sending out to anybody that's willing to help us. I've put a link to that in the description below, so please feel free to click on that and submit your answers to that too. It'll really help us out. It just takes 5 minutes. With the things we learned from that, we should hopefully be able to move forward with some more concrete stuff. That's not to say there's no design at all though. So far, Holly has put together some basic concept design, plus some potential user flows, possible screens, etc. All useful stuff, but subject to change. With that in mind, it would appear like there's nothing for me to implement yet, right? Wrong! Okay, sure, there's nothing concrete for me to build yet, but I can start building some framework, decide on what language I'm going to be using, put together some authentication, throw together a few pages. And that's just what I've done. It's not pretty by any standards, but here's a look at the current authentication pages and the most basic homepage you've ever seen. So here's the sign in page, very similar to the sign up page. Let's just make a quick user. Sign up and boom, homepage. Let's just log out and here we are back to the sign in page. Simple as that. So that's that. I'm ready to start adding real actual pages to it whenever we decide to go forwards with some designs. In the meantime, I've also been working on something that I think is going to really help us out in the long run. A content management system, or CMS for short. In my years as a developer, I've found that updating content can be super frustrating at times. And just from watching a few other YouTubers and their devlog series, I've learned that tackling content later on in the process can be super frustrating. So I'm getting it in the beginning. With this, we should be able to update any contents pretty easily. Like say if we see a typo or we just want to make a change to make something a little bit better, then anybody with a user account can just go in and make that change. Somebody with a admin account can then approve those changes, and then they are reflected immediately in the app. It's a much better process than somebody coming up with content, asking the developer, i.e. me, to implement that change and then push the whole thing to production again. It's just a very slow, arduous process. I've been working on this CMS for the last couple of months, maybe even a little bit more, so a lot of the key features are there. Let me show you. So we have these page overviews with all the content. This one's the content for the sign up page of the app, where you can edit whatever you want. You submit your suggested changes, then an admin user is able to see those suggestions and approve or reject them. Simple. There's definitely a bunch of other cool stuff that we could throw in there. Like the user could be updated when their changes are approved or declined. Maybe there can be some commenting system where you can ask, why was my stuff declined, all that kind of thing. But at its core, it's pretty much ready. The only problem is, it's all absolutely hideous.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Fortunately, Holly has been working on some designs to fix this. I'll get back to you with an update when I've made a few of those changes. Alright, just a quick update. After doing a bit of editing, I realised this video is getting a little bit long, so I think I'm going to call it there. Hopefully now you get the concepts a little bit and I've piqued your interest slightly. If you're keen to see the rest of the development, then hopefully I'll have a video out sometime in the next few weeks. That's when I'll be working on some of the front-end design. And after we've seen some of the responses from the survey, maybe we'll have a few ideas on where to go first and next. But mainly first. So maybe in the next episodes, there may be a hint of what is to come as far as the app is concerned. So please look out for my video next time, and until then, have a good life.